Good morning, Canadian Yarnwood. My name's Alyssa, and we're going to do a hat today. This is the hat we're going to be doing. I probably will do a different fur, but this is the hat. It's a crocheted hat. We are using creme cotton. Any thick, chunky yarn. I'm using a 6mm hook. So I'm going to move over to my overhead cam, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're going to start with the magic ring. I am using 2 of these strands together because I do want the thickness for a hat. So we're going to do chain 2 and 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So then you're going to pull this line through. Pull it down. You're going to put the bar in right in there. So you're going to go under both bars, take a little bit. That's called a slip stitch. We're going to pull through and tighten. Now the next row, after you chain 2, you're going to increase. So it's going to be an increase in every stitch. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now there looks like there's a stitch there, but you don't want to do it because you went into that very first one. So you're going to slip stitch that. Now, I hate tails, so this is where I'm going to darn the tail in so that it doesn't drive me nuts. And darn in. Just going to go around the magic circle so that way there we go. Just going to keep going around just so you have enough in so it does not pull itself out. And pull tight. Trim that off. And next row, you're going to do 1, then an increase. So you're going to chain 2, 2, and in that first spot, you're going to do 1 single crochet. Because I'm working with 2 yarns, I want to make sure I get both yarns. 1, and then increase. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you're on to the next row. Now this one will be 1, 2, 1, 2, and increase. 1, 2, 1, 2, increase, 2, 1, 2, and increase, 2, and increase. And you're just going to keep doing that until you have 7 stitches between each increase. So 1, 2, and increase. So this next row will be 3 stitches and increase. And like I said, you're going to keep doing that until you get 7 stitches. And then I want you to take the little circle and put it in between your ears. If it touches both your ears, then you're good to go. 2 and 3. And that way you're going to have it large enough so that it'll fit your head. And you're going to be able to, it's going to fit you. If it's for you, if it's for someone else, you might want to either, if their head is a little bit larger, you want to add another row or 2. If not, it's 3. If it's a child, that's a little harder. That's where you can do some research on the internet. One of my favorite sites is Ravelry. It is a great site to find patterns. So I'm just going to keep going, increasing, and when we hit 7 stitches, I will be back. So there we go. Now that's the 7 increase in between each increase. So what I'm going to do now is you are going to single crochet all around, no increases, for 6 inches. So that will give you from the increases out to about here is about, you want to measure 6 inches from the whole thing. So you're just going to single crochet around each stitch and go do that for about 6 inches. I will be back when I've got that. I do hope to earn your like and subscription today. I hope you leave a question or comment or an idea or anything else below. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to keep going on my 7 inches, 6 inches from the top, and I will be back. On both of them. So now I have to figure out if I'm going to do white or if I'm going to do black, because this is just a faux yarn that I got from the dollar store. It is 100% polyester, hand wash, warm water. It says nothing else. That was a very easy pull. Let's see if the second one's going to be as easy. So I'm going to do 1 in white and 1 in black. I think I might change and show the white one first, because I think the white will show up better than the black. So I'm going to end up using this one first. So what I want to do, grab my yarn, grab that, and then I'm going to grab the yarn that I'm using. I think I can use a bigger hook on that one. So let me grab an 8, because I think an 8 will work nicely. One, 2. Just going to go in. Just going to keep adding stitches along your line. That's that one. There. And you're just going to pull it up and through. Do that again. You're just going to keep going along. I think you're going to probably skip every other stitch to do it, just because the hook is so large, so much larger than the one you've been using. So And you're just going to keep going. So you just keep adding on, and when you're done this row, you're going to do, I think I did 4 rows of that one. I measured it out, so I ended up doing 3.5 inches. So there's that. I'm going to skip a loop, add more, and then skip a stitch and add the next one. We're skipping just because the hook is so large. Otherwise, you'll start getting the ruffle effect, which I'm not going for. So we're just going to keep going on this way. Now, the first row of full fur is usually easier than the second row because the first row you can clearly see where you're putting your hook in. And it clearly is easily. The next one is pretty much you go by feel. So you're just gonna, I'll do it all by feel rather than looking, because the faux fur really hides a lot, but that's what's going to be really, really nice for the trim or the border. And one more. Now you're going to slip stitch the last one. Let's just go in, around the hook, pull through, 1, 2. Now you're going to feel, and you can feel there's one right there. Feel there's one right there. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. And you do this for about 3.5 inches. I will be back to show you my final product. So here you have it. I have both hats. I'm just finishing the second one up. I did finish it, and then I had to frog it out because it wasn't quite big enough to fit. So I went back on this black one, and I ended up having to use every stitch. And pretty sure it'll fit now. So the black one had a little more stretch to it, so I was able to do the skip every one with the white, but this purple one actually needed me to go back and do every black one. So there you have it. I hope I've earned your like and subscription. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again. Bye.